Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge. I am your hostess, certified life coach, author, and speaker, Chrisnatha Derosier, and I'm so excited to be back with another segment. So, as you know, this is our little corner of the internet where we have really insightful conversations about goal setting, about self awareness, reaching our goals, positive mindset, you name it, right? We talk about things to help push our personal and professional lives forward. And today's segment is no different. And so I want to share with you guys today about procrastinating. It is something I'm sure we've all dealt with or dealing with. And we want to talk about some ways that we can begin overcoming procrastination, right? So let's jump right into it. If you are watching, say hello down in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Okay, so let's talk about procrastination. And procrastination overall is when you really put off doing the things that you need to do and you just wait till the very last minute. If you have a deadline, you are waiting till it is due. You're waiting till the hour before. You have that paper due at midnight. You're trying to turn it in at 11:47 p.m. And then you have tech issues, right? Because something always has to go wrong, right? And so I know I've been there in college trying to get those papers in by midnight, trying to submit them 10 minutes before, and then Wi-Fi goes out. There's a system. I lose my paper, you name it. It has happened to me. And so I have procrastinated even in my business, right? I've had my own personal deadlines and I've waited, right? But there's a cost. There's a cost to procrastinating. So let's talk about procrastination, overcoming it, some steps to really help us change some of our habits and our routines so we can do better and show up better. And last week we talked about habits and routines. And so, how can we start to maybe form some new habits and routines and change some habits and routines so that we can overcome procrastination? So, we're going to be talking about that today. And with talking about procrastination, I wanted to also touch on focus. It's important that we focus when something needs to get done. I understand life happens. So we're going to definitely go ahead and say that and put that disclaimer out there. Life happens. I get it. It happens to you. It happens to me. It happens to us all. But when we need to get something done, we need to reach a goal. We need to really make sure that there's a result that we have, right? We need to focus. We got to focus. What is focus? Focus is paying particular attention to something, someone, right? A particular goal, a particular milestone, something. There's a result that you are looking to get, an accomplishment you're looking to achieve. right? You have to focus. You have to focus. And so I have been guilty of not focusing enough sometimes. But focus, it's the center of your activity, your attraction, your attention. It's important that we focus, okay? And I just want to share what the Bible says about focus. In Colossians 3, verse 2, it says, set our minds on things above, not on earthly things. Now, that particular scripture is asking us to refocus our minds, right? The power of refocusing, focus on things above instead of earthly things, right? So thinking and remembering and focusing that, remembering that things are beyond this world and this life, and refocusing on what truly matters. And so it's important that we focus in our lives, in our business, in our relationships. We need to show up and focus. And so let's talk about some steps to help us overcome procrastination, because that's important. And that's why we're here today. So let's go ahead and talk about that. I'm going to be sharing 5 steps to help you and myself um, effectively overcome procrastination. The first one is identify the root causes. Why am I putting this off? Why is this important? Self awareness is key. I talk about this often, how it's not enough to just do something, but you want to know why. You do the things you do, why you feel the way that you feel, right? You want to be self aware. So identify the root causes of why you put things off, why you procrastinate, why you wait to the last minute. So self awareness is key. It's important that you reflect on why you tend to procrastinate. So, what's the reason? What's the real reason? I know you can go ahead and say, oh, I'm busy. We can all say that. But what's the real reason? Beyond being busy, beyond having a full calendar, right? What's the real reason? What's the root cause? Now, I want you to pinpoint specific triggers or reasons behind your behavior. So, I'm asking you to do some deep diving into your heart, your mind, your intentions, right? Your behavior. And also, common causes can include fear of failure. A lot of times we can be afraid to make a mistake. I speak to a lot of clients who always say to me, Chrisnatha, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to make a mistake. But guess what? It's okay to make mistakes. You learn from them, right? There could also be a lack of motivation. You could feel overwhelmed. And instead of pushing yourself further, you say, listen, this is where hard stop, right? I'm overwhelmed. I don't want to think about it. I'm just not going to try. Or you could suffer from perfectionism. You want things to be completely perfect all of the time. And because you think there's always something you could tweak and change and improve, you just say, I'm not going to try it all. It's just too much. You're constantly improving, improving, improving. So it's important to just take that lead and get it done. My awesome life coach, Coach Cass, she always says that done is better than perfect. And I agree. Done is better than perfect. And many times you can go back and tweak things, right? But get it done. Get it done. That's important. The second step in overcoming procrastination is breaking your tasks into smaller steps. We have discussed this before, but it's important and it's worth mentioning again. Breaking your task into smaller steps. So large tasks, they can seem very daunting, and they can lead to you saying, you know what, I'm just going to try again another day. But if you break it up, it doesn't seem as overwhelming. You can divide your task in smaller, more manageable steps. So create a system that works for you. And also focus on completing one small part at a time. Again, focus on completing one small part at a time. This can make the overall task less intimidating for you, right? So all you have to do is do one small part at a time, and then repeat that again, and repeat that again. And before you know it, you're so much more closer to your goal. The third step is to set clear goals and deadlines. I know you've heard that before, but it's so important. It has to be mentioned again. Set clear goals and deadlines, like clear, using the SMART method. I mean, being specific, being able to measure, right, your goals and determining whether or not they are achievable for you. Okay, so establish clear, specific, and achievable goals for each task that you have. Then I want you to set realistic deadlines or time frames to complete these smaller tasks and these smaller steps. Now, be mindful of what you already have on your plate. Be mindful of your lifestyle. Be mindful of what you are already responsible for. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means you have to consider your life. You have to consider all the things that you already do, and you have to consider everyone who counts on you, whether that's your spouse, your children, your team, right? Your employees, and so forth. And so you want to consider the whole picture as you set these goals. It's really imperative that you do so. All right. And have a clear plan and a deadline because that's going to help you create a sense of urgency and accountability. So, what's the plan? My clients hear me say that so often when they're telling me, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I'm like, okay, great. What's our plan? Because it's great to want to do something. That is amazing. That's a great place to start. What's the plan? We need a plan. We can't aimlessly just be out here just, seeing what sticks to the wall. I mean, you can, but it just takes up so much of your time and energy and efforts, right? And so let's create a plan and let's work the plan. The fourth step is use time management techniques. This is important, guys. I will continue to encourage you to do this. Employ strategies um, that are going to help you. One that I live by is time blocking. Block out time. You need blocks of time for the activity, right? You're writing that book, block out time to write, block out time to write. You have to have it as part of your calendar, part of your schedule, right? And so block out time for the things that you need to do. It's super important. I even block out time for self-care. Like that's how serious I am about it, where I am unreachable. I am quiet. I am not answering calls or answering emails, right? That's my self-care time. Allocate specific time slots for the tasks and commit to working on them during those periods. Do everything you can to work on them during those periods. If the time blocks and slots need to change, then change them, right? Because we know life happens. So whatever needs to change to fit your life, your schedule, whatever's going on, that's okay, but make time. Prioritize your task based on importance and based on urgency. This is going to help you stay focused. So I want to make sure that you guys are really, really, really using time management techniques. And there's so many. So whatever works best for you, more than welcome for you to use it, right? We just want to make sure that you're managing your time well. And lastly, number 5 is to cultivate self discipline and accountability. So, who's going to hold you accountable? Practice self discipline. That is key, right? So, long after the feeling of motivation leaves you, excitement, the feeling of this is exciting because something new is about to happen, long after that feeling leaves you, because it will, right? You have to practice self discipline. And this can start by starting tasks even when you don't feel motivated. Motivation is great. It's not enough to sustain you through the entire process. It's a great place to start, but when you're not motivated, what happens? So we have to use it as a tool, but also not allow you to only be focused on your feelings because we have to do things that we don't feel like doing. All right. And that's us just being grown-ups. Okay. So hold yourself accountable, share your goals and your progress with someone else, a friend, a colleague, a mentor. a business buddy, someone, right? And also consider finding an accountability partner to keep each other motivated and on track. And so if you guys have similar goals or you're on the same journey, talk to that person, say, hey, let's hold each other accountable. Let's have a weekly check-in. Let's let's go walking together. Let's meet up at this park. Let's do this together, right? Some additional things I just want you to consider is to minimize your distractions. I know that that is not always easy, especially in this world of remote working, but do your absolute best to minimize your distractions. Identify and eliminate or minimize those distractions, because that's going to contribute to you pushing things off. And that's definitely not what we want. Also, use positive reinforcement. I want you to reward yourself for completing tasks or meeting milestones to reinforce positive behavior. I told y'all last time I was doing well and I treated myself to some ice cream. That was my way of rewarding myself. So, how are you going to reward yourself? So go out here, kill it, do your absolute best, and then reward yourself, honey. Enjoy yourself, celebrate, because you are further along than you were yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, right? And so we have to celebrate our wins. Practice self compassion. Please be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. There's perfection does not exist. Okay, give yourself some grace. Um, there's going to be challenges. There's going to be setbacks. It's okay. Perfection is not required because it's not real, right? Progress matters, and that's super important. And so I am rooting for you all. I'm encouraging you all as you go on and reach these amazing goals and milestones. Please let me know how you're doing. I absolutely am rooting for all of you. If you need help getting clear about what those goals and milestones are, I'm your girl. You need help with accountability, I'm your girl. So hit me up, let me know, and let's connect so we can get strategic about your success. Thank you guys for joining me today on the Masterpiece Lounge. As always, I had an amazing time, and I hope that you did as well. Also, wishing you all an incredible, incredible holiday. Guys, thank you. Have a great day. I am Chrisnatha Derosier. I will see you again, same time, same place next week. And until then, be well. Take care.